Alright, did a little flaking while I was waiting for the videos to upload. This isn't the same piece, this is just one of the flakes. And I was just shaping it with a small hammerstone and just started doing a little bit of pressure to make a cool little arrow point out of it. Anyways, let's get back to business here. This piece of K County. Here we are, this is where we're at. We still have this flake that I dove earlier. That has to go. This face is looking okay. We've lost a lot of length because I broke the tip off or base off, and in general my reduction strategies, or like, I think my strategies are good, but I think as far as, you know, reduction with Abo tools go, I'm still learning how to reduce. And one of my problems in the past has been going too thin too fast and losing convexity. And what happens with that is then I end up in this place where like something like this, where I'll get, this is a broken piece that I'd fluted up the side, and I didn't like the flute, and then I broke it doing something else, like doing pressure. But what would happen is I would get these hinges, right, like this, or here's another example of a piece, you know, it's fairly thin, but a lot of convexity lost, right? So this is even after pressure. You know, another example, fairly thin, still pretty wide before I broke it, but there are steps and things that come from lack of convexity. And the thing is, you just have to play your cards perfectly. So I'm going to try and keep some body on this. And, you know, like I've been saying in a lot of my videos, that's kind of been my goal, is to have pieces with a little bit more body to them, just like the artifacts do. Although the artifacts have such perfect edge work and symmetry that I don't know if I'll ever be able to compete. It's going to take a lot of practice. But I usually nap several hours a day, so I'll show you guys what I've made in the last month. I'll make a little video on it, not to brag or anything, just to show you. Okay, so I'm going to take a flick right here. Overstruck that a little, but worked out, got a nice flick. Take a couple on either side. I don't know if I like this hammerstone or not. I think this is the one I might like. Alright. Now I'm going to hit it from the other side since my edge is raised. I think I'm just going to stick to the hammerstone and antler for this, just because I just want to keep it simple. Okay, got that into the other side. It kind of met in the middle, and that could be a future stack. Be careful of that. I wonder how this one will work. I'm kind of experimenting as I'm videoing this, so it'll be cool one day to make a video where I actually know what I'm gonna do. Or I tried to do that with the agate basin, but I broke it, so I have to make another blank that I can finish the video with and tell the world I broke it. There we go. Kind of got a little bit of that funkiness off there that I created earlier. This is a really soft hammerstone that I use on really soft rocks. So. And the way it works is I have to just support the edge, because it always will, because I have to make the platform so weak so that the edge kind of crumbles, but that I catch it with my finger and then the flake goes. At least that's how it works best for me. I do a lot of edge support with my finger, and that's why I really like freehand. I'm going to go back to this guy. It's kind of small for the job, but it's a dense hammerstone. Another nice little flake there. Another nice little flake there. Okay, let's flip it over. Continue working this face. My guess is we're going to end up with something pretty narrow, but that's okay. It's still fun. I'm not really attached to an outcome that doesn't exist yet, so who knows, I could break it. But if we do get something, it'll probably end up being narrow compared to what we started with. kind of brushing with the hammerstone rather than striking inward. The striking inward only really works for me on heavier, like when I'm really going above the edge. There we go. Started to get into that junk, and I might kind of have to do a little bit of that here soon, or really wail on it, because we got this funky section and I'm gonna have to get under it. The only way to do that is to build a pretty heavy platform. I could probably get it with antler if I isolated and really built a good platform, so maybe I'll do that. See, I've got this little platform here. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna hit this platform, but I'm gonna trap it before it gets to there. So what that did is it was really kind of flat and almost like a step there, and so when I have a step like this, if I have to get it off from this side, what I'll do is I'll shoot short flakes almost into it, ending just before. What it does is it'll create a little hill to climb up, so the flake can climb up and not lose too much energy and maybe cut that step off. Or I'll come at it from the sides before I try and take it from the opposite face, depending on where it is. But sometimes trying to do that, like, oh, I'll get it from the other side thing, sometimes that can just be perverse fracture city, at least for me. Just speaking for myself though. There we go, nice little flake there. Went just to center. Didn't really do any thinning for us, but it looks nice. I think focusing on trying to make nice flakes is a better goal than focusing on trying to get it thin really fast for most of us where we're at in our napping now. That's not to say it's for everyone though. Hi Chris. How are you? Pretty good. Filming a video. My neighbor. Okay, so here's where we're at. We got quite a bit of body, and I'm gonna raise this edge up and shoot some flakes into here. So first thing I'm gonna do, a little bit of brushing at an angle like this. Basically by that I just mean I'm gonna bank it down, and when I do that, the flakes, so if I'm hitting it like this, the hertzian cone, the flakes travel off like that versus like that, and what it does is it creates a bevel, and that bevel is really nice for the hammerstone. At least for me, and I'm gonna lose, I'll lose some width on this, and that's just me being a novice and with these tools and going overboard. All right, so there's my platform, and this would probably work pretty good for antler too. Maybe even better for antler. I don't know. Let me just give it a go. Sometimes picking up antler when I haven't been swinging can be sketchy, especially up on the tip. Went all right, but I think we can do better with the hammerstone we had. Whatever I did with it, there it is. I might have even built those platforms a little bit shallow, which kind of sucks because now we just lost a little bit of like a. Probably ended up being an 1/8 of an inch, and we barely did anything except make bevel the edge. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that just basically beveled that edge, but that's all right. This stuff is just so funky to work. It's like wax. It's like working with brittle wax. Better than the first piece I worked out. Here we go. All right, this is gonna try and. There we go. See that flake? Went over to there. So that did some good. That went past the center, and it largely removed that hump I was kind of creating there. So now tidy that up, come over a little, and I'm going to hit it again. There is a step right there, so this could exacerbate the problem, but I have enough thickness still that I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. Okay, so that feathered out nicely. Took off a little bit of that step. And again, it went a little bit past center, so it did some thinning. So you can see the difference now in that tip. It's much nicer. Let's see, what do we got? 10 minutes, okay.